Hello everyone, welcome back to Optimal EV. In this video, we're going to be doing a build guide and rundown on the all-new 2023 BMW i7.
This isn't the first time we're talking about the BMW i7. We actually did a video on comparing the luxury EV models, the Lucid Air, the Mercedes EQS, and the i7. So if you haven't seen that video yet, go check that out.
If you are enjoying this type of content, please make sure to like and subscribe. So let's jump into the video. So here we are on the configurator page for the i7, and as you can see, we have the stats right off the bat with 536 horsepower, a range of anywhere from 294 to 307 miles, which honestly is kind of average, although compared to some of the other luxury models at this price, like Lucid, it doesn't even really come close, but the 0 to 60 is 4.5 seconds, which isn't super slow. I think the Mach-E, if you spec that out, is about the exact same speed. So if you're used to that, maybe this is a good comparison.
Yeah, I think you're really paying more for the luxury feel of the interior and the technology.
Of course.
The range still hits the number that we always have as a threshold, which is that 300 range. And the only reason you see really a difference from the 294 to the 307 is because of the wheels. So depending on what wheels you have, that will change your range just based on aerodynamics.
And of course, the most important part, the price. The starting MSRP for this car is $119,000.
It's expensive. Hey, cheaper than the Lucid and the EQS starting price. But as you're going to see when we get into some of these options, it gets pretty expensive.
So with all BMWs, you have the option for an M Sport package, which is actually a zero-cost addition to this car.
Yeah, so when we click it, you're going to see that you still get the 20-inch rims, but you do get a lot more black trim around the car on the side skirts here, the front, nicer wheels, trim on the side. I think the black trim is something we've always loved.
Yeah, Shadowline packages, or trims, are usually really sharp on most BMWs, in my opinion, and especially when you add in the extended Shadowline and it darkens up a few more features. It looks pretty clean. Yeah,
you'll notice the grille. A lot of people complain about the big grills on like the 7 Series and the 4 Series. That black really does help you hide it kind of in the front there. So
this adds a very small spoiler to the back of the car, which Troy and I think is very, very
pointless.
It doesn't really look like it does too much, and I don't really like that it's black. I wish it were the same color as the body, but
yeah, I mean, I don't mind the black part more that it just looks like a thin line. Like you can't even tell it's a spoiler from the sight almost.
It's kind of weird, but
yeah, you have to look at like the right angle for it, but. I definitely love the look of the car, though, in general. At first, I started seeing some spy photos, and I was really worried about the top lights here being separate from these bottom ones.
Right.
But I think it really came out looking different, unique, but still luxurious.
Yeah, I mentioned this in our other video for our first impressions of this car, and I really think this car does resemble like a Rolls Royce. You can kind of see it from just the overall body shape, so it's definitely luxurious.
Yeah, which BMW is involved with, so makes sense. Next, we're going to go to our colors where, obviously BMW doesn't fall short when it comes to colors. So we have a ton listed here.
Yeah.
We're just going to go real quick down the line, and then we can talk about some of our favorites. So we have the carbon black, where Alpine white was the first one. Carbon black, which gives you that little blue tint. Black sapphire. Dark graphite, which will make you remove the M Sport. Mineral white. Oxide gray. Ew. Brooklyn gray. Sparkling copper. As you see, you have to change some of the options as you go through these.
Yep.
Aventurin red, space silver, Dravit gray, tanzanite blue, frozen gray, and frozen deep gray.
So for those frozen colors, those are obviously matte. A little more expensive. That's why you can see the price jump up $5,000 to the normal $0 on those. But they also have the option for tanzanite blue and Dravit gray, which is $1,950.
Yeah, and those are the individual colors. That's why they're a little more pricey. Any favorites? I think the black looks really awesome on this car.
Yeah, either black or white. Honestly, pretty basic on this one.
You need M Sport though, at least.
Yeah, black on black is definitely going to look much better for this.
Yeah, we're keeping the M Sport on just so we can have a better look at it while we're building it.
Yeah, and then this with black wheels, it's going to be clean.
Yeah, and that will bring us to our next options, which is the wheels.
Yep.
So you will see there's, again, a ton of options for wheels.
As usual with BMW, they offer tons of different options if you want aerodynamic or if you want run flats, all season, whatever you want.
Yeah, and you can go anywhere from 19s all the way up to 21s. Now, the 19s, you wouldn't be able to have the M Sport package on because 20s are standard for it. And then the 21s, you would need the M Sport package. Next, we're going to go to our upholstery where you'll see 12 options here. We're just going to go through each one. A lot of names. Smoke white, Amaron, black Atlas gray. That's cool. Nice two-tone.
I think this is definitely my favorite of any of them. And it might just be that it's like the two-tone because, we love that. But
yeah, it has a little M Sport little tag in there too.
Yeah, very clean.
Mocha, nice brown. everyone sees brown and always doesn't think it's going to look good in person, but then they see it in person, they're like, wow, that's an awesome color.
Yeah. And I think just the shape of like the entire seat redesign is really sexy. Like the whole look of it is like just very comfortable.
It's something with like how wide the back part is with the headrest that kind of it makes it look unique and very comfortable.
Yeah.
Tartufo is one of my favorite colors. It's kind of like a basketball feel.
Also, something we should definitely mention here is that there are speakers up by the headrests, and I think they're also covered in like a carbon fiber because it looks like that.
I think the speakers are built into it, and then the carbon fiber like frames on the outside, which looks awesome. We'll actually click into the interior to show you a little better look of it. You'll see here the carbon fiber on the headrest. You have carbon fiber trim, more carbon here. And also something that's really awesome and unique, which we mentioned in the last video, is these little screens on the side.
Incredible.
Yeah, they got rid of the old little tablet they had in the middle because it used to not have a middle seat. And that tablet was like, there was so many consumer reviews about it, how bad it was. So it's nice to see they've changed it up at least and listened to the consumers.
Yeah, all of the media controls being in like the rear passenger seat is just incredible. I think that giving that, it just gives off a vibe of like luxury. You know what I mean? They're implying that some people are getting driven around by these cars, and I think that says enough on its own.
Yeah, and also you'll see that it has the new iDrive 8 screen with a brand new steering wheel as well. So the BMW has not shown the steering wheel off at all yet. So
looks
I think
pretty clean.
Looks pretty awesome.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
And this will change with the M Sport versus the standard one. So just keep that in mind when purchasing the M Sport package. And then smoke gray will be the last one, which makes you get every single option almost on the entire car.
Wow.
So we're going to confirm it just to show you how it would look with those options with the rear executive lounge seating.
Yep.
Bowers & Wilkins, which is the diamond sound system. It's basically everything. You'll see the price jump to $150. Another two-tone.
Yep.
What do you think?
It looks phenomenal. I mean, I feel like it should look phenomenal at $150,000. But once we load into here, you'll also notice the screen for the rear passengers.
Yeah, and one thing with the site, it is a little slow when loading the interiors, but they do give you a nice little look at moving around inside.
But I feel like even the seats themselves change with the executive package. It's amazing.
And you can see how on this one it's a little longer. The reason for that is because this one will actually be able to recline so that the passenger seat will fold up and you can recline in the back seat as if you were being driven around by someone. So very elegant. Yeah.
And so as you look at the top, right below the moonroof is just a massive screen.
Yeah, it's the first 8K giant screen in any automobile production-wise. And you can watch Netflix on it, Amazon, whatever streaming service out of the 100,000 you use.
Yeah.
And then you also have these LEDs built into the glass as well. So you can change the colors with that, which is super cool. Unique design too.
Very.
It kind of matches the seats, like the little cross lining.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that. All right, next up, we're going to go into our trim options. We have a couple of them. We have our carbon fiber, which is a fan favorite.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that's definitely just a very common thing that people with BMWs like.
Yeah, it's expensive.
I was going to say, you notice carbon fiber on a ton of luxury cars, and it just makes sense to have it on this one.
Exactly. And then mirror oak high gloss. Not a fan of the high gloss. We've talked about that before.
Right.
Fingerprints, ew.
Lots of glares.
Yeah. Silver gray, ash gray, and open pore wood. One, I do like the open pore, but this color is kind of weird. I don't know if I'd go with that.
I don't mind it too much. I feel like it's not super dark, which makes it really nice.
Fine line open pore wood. One of my favorites. Just like a real natural wood feel.
Yep.
That looks great on the 7.
I feel like some of these obviously look much better with a different color interior.
A lighter interior would definitely look better with the silver ash and the silver gray.
Yeah.
And then, as we have the silver ash root open pore wood on the end. Also with like that oxide gray color, that would look pretty cool. All right, so we're going to hop into our options. There are a lot of options on this vehicle. It is the highest end BMW. So we have our driving assistance professional.
In this package, it includes the active driving assistance pro as well as highway assistance. So this is your typical, all your sensors around the car as well as highway assisted driving.
Pretty standard all BMWs.
Yeah. Next up, we have the BMW individual composition. So the individual composition was that $5,000 upgrade on certain interior upgrades that you choose. And here it lists off exactly what it is. Yeah,
and it looks like it basically gives you the full merino for no cost when you get the actual package itself, and that which usually is like a $3,000 upgrade on regular BMWs. You get to choose whatever trim you want, and then you will see that you get an Alcantara headliner in coordinated upholstery color. So it looks like whatever color you get is going to actually match the ceiling as well. So that's pretty cool. Next, we will have the luxury rear seating package. $600. It's cheap because what you're getting is the ventilated seats and the rear massage seats.
I mean, for $600,
not bad.
That's pretty good. That's obviously you're already spending a arm and a leg. I think this is totally worth it.
You'll see we have the M Sport Professional, which we kind of went over in the beginning. It'll show that you can choose your M Sport brake calibers with the black or the blue. And then you'll get the extended shadowline trim, which gives you the black kidney grille on the front and the toothpick rear spoiler.
Yeah, super weird rear spoiler option, but hey, it is what it is. Next up, we have the parking assistance package. This is $900. It includes your parking assistance professional, which is if you've driven a BMW, it allows you to turn and see exactly where you're going when you back up, as well as options to allow you to memorize the path as you back up. You know, if you have a desired parking spot that you always pull in and out of, you can let it do that automatically. Next up, we have the surround view with 3D view. I think most people love this feature when they find out it exists.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't know you love it until you see it, and it's just being able to see your car from like any angle.
It's definitely a party trick.
Yeah,
which is
for
cool.
sure.
And then something that's awesome that you know not a ton of cars have is an illuminated kidney grille.
Yep.
So at night, the whole grille will light up. I'm sure you've seen it on Mercedes where they have the whole logo light up. Very cool. Next up, we have the executive package. You're going to see the active comfort drive with road preview. What that's going to do is it's going to use the camera system to actively look at how the road is and actually adapt the vehicle's suspension with the road to give you the best comfort. Next, we have the active roll stabilization, which is just making sure that you know your suspension is being active, just like with that active drive preview, and it's to reduce body roll and help you around corners.
I think with a car this heavy, especially with the size of the battery that's going into this thing, you probably don't have to worry too much about rolling. No. That is kind of the thing with electric cars. With all of that weight on the bottom, it's really tough to flip these things over.
Next, we have our crystal headlights, which this is the first time I'm seeing this. They're actually announcing the brand for it.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
That's crazy. I mean, if anything wasn't already over the top, this for sure is. I think this is a little too much, but it looks nice. It definitely looks nice.
Next, we have the automatic doors. So enter or exit with the touch of a button on the door handles, interior trim, BMW direction bar. So basically, it will actually open the door for you when you select a button.
I think this is really cool. The thing for me is like I'm so used to closing a door that you have to like kind of change your habits with the way that you treat a door when it automatically closes.
Yeah, I'm sure people who are spending the money on this car might be used to it though.
Probably.
On other cars.
Yeah, all the soft close doors.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Cool. So that's the last part of that package. Then if you really need it, you can get the rear executive lounge seating package, which is $7,250.
If any of you are watching this and actually order this package, please let us know.
We'll fly out.
We'll fly out. We'll just come check out your car and we'll do a full video if you want. It would be sick. Just let us know.
Yeah. We have our electric reclining seat and footrest. So the footrest is pretty awesome.
Yeah, fair.
The theater screen will be included with that. So that 8K screen.
31-inch panoramic screen.
Wow.
It's a literal movie theater back there.
That's unbelievable. It looks great. And especially with like the Sky Lounge too, like with the lights on.
Wild.
Yeah. Executive lounge, rear center console. So it adds that center console like we were speaking about before.
Yep. A little wireless charger in there too if you need that.
Yeah. So that concludes the packages, but you do have the option to select individual options.
More options, of course.
Yep. This two-tone black sapphire metallic, like you said before with Rolls Royce,
yes.
This is definitely
this is exactly like it goes right down that line of Rolls Royce when you see this. That I think honestly, if you had your car look like this, people would confuse the two.
Oh, 100%. And I would definitely catch my eye. So we're just going to select it real quick to show you. That looks unbelievable with the black rims.
That was really good.
Yeah.
Wow.
I would definitely order that. You also have the option not just to get the red with the black, but you can get the oxide gray as well.
Yep, also $12,000. Next up, we have Climate Comfort Laminated Glass, which is $1,300. You can add that in.
Heat reflecting glass keeps your vehicle interior cool. So, you know, if you're in a hot state or hot area in the world, then you definitely want to get that.
Yep.
Andesite Alcantara headliner. It's kind of like that suede feel, something that usually with sports cars you'd like to have.
I assume you probably wouldn't need that if you were going with the composition package because that would include that. But.
Yes. And then the BMW i blue exterior accents, which is, you know, the BMW i signature color. And then if you didn't want to get the rear executive lounge, you can option to get the theater screen here, plus the BMW Bowers & Wilkins Diamond surround sound system for $5,000. Gives you 16 speakers with 1,400 watts. So that's
super loud.
They light up.
Incredibly loud. It sounds really, really good when you sit in this car.
Why wouldn't you want your speakers to light up? $5,000? Just do it.
Just do it. It's only $5,000.
Yeah. And then M Sport brakes, last one, you can change from the black to the blue.
Yep.
All right, next we have me and Sam's favorite part, the accessories.
As usual, we don't really think it's a good idea to buy these just straight from the manufacturer. If you're going to get them, try and go third party because you will end up definitely saving money. Although, if you're spending this much money, I don't know if you care to save that much, but hey.
That is true.
Your choice.
Also, it's nice that they show you on the accessories what you're getting in the actual vehicle, so they're checked off already. And that's the flexible fast charger, so that you can plug in a 240 and not just come with a normal standard 120. Next, you also have a concierge installation service. So if you did want to get the BMW wall box installed, really the biggest benefit of that is because it's waterproof. So if you're someone who doesn't have a garage and you have a $150,000 car at your house, then you would definitely want a waterproof wall box to charge the car when you can. And then at the end, you'll see with the build that we have here, it went up to $152,000. Obviously, the options you don't need that we chose, but if you really wanted to load it up, you're going to be somewhere in that range.
Yeah, 119 starting, jumping all the way up to 151. Obviously, there's a lot of different options you can include in this car. I think most people ordering this car are going to be interested in those really expensive packages.
For sure.
So it's good that they have them available.
Also, BMW still qualifies for the tax credit. So if you were to finance or purchase cash for this vehicle and owe money at the end of the year, you will actually get a $7,500 tax credit.
All right, so that concludes our build guide rundown on the all-new BMW i7, and this thing's really impressive. This is the definition of a luxury car. I just hope that we can see them on the road sometime soon.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to start production sometime at the end of the year. It's nice that the builder finally came out. And, something that I noticed is, even though the stats weren't amazing on this vehicle, it just has so many cool options, especially that giant screen, that it's definitely going to be really unique when it comes to the market. If you guys have any questions about the vehicle, about the build, just please leave them down in the comment section below. Make sure to always like and subscribe. Really helps the channel out, and we will see you in the future.